In fact, Volcarona's German name is Ramoth, an anagram of the name Mothra. Bisharp bears a strong resemblance to Jet Jaguar, the heroic robot from 1973's Godzilla vs. Megalon. In its normal form, Jet Jaguar is about the same size as Bisharp, but he can transform into a 150-foot tall giant. Earlier in development, Hydreigon had 8 heads and was based on Yamata no Orochi, a legendary 8-headed dragon from Japanese mythology. But the design was too complicated, so the head count was reduced to 3. But it retained 6 wings, so its silhouette had the appearance.
It's Y. No, it's
Of a 9-headed dragon. According to Sugimori, this makes Hydreigon 1 head better than Yamata no Orochi. Its final design ended up looking a lot like King Ghidorah, also known as the 3-headed monster, one of Toho's most famous kaiju. But Sugimori says even before the Orochi motif, the Hydreigon family were originally designed as a family of tank dragons, and the purple treads on their bellies are leftovers from when they were still based on tanks. This might explain why Hydreigon's family's shinies are green, since Pokemon's beta colors are sometimes repurposed as their shiny colors. This may have happened to Dwebble as well, who's got a red shiny and was probably fire type earlier on in development. Sugimori says Dwebble and Crustle were originally furnace Pokemon, with shells made out of kiln-fired pottery, but their designs were revised. Masuda told the design team to make Gen 5's Pokemon cooler than the Pokemon from previous gens, which led to most Unova designs having sharper angles, whereas earlier Pokemon were much more round. In a series of Japanese magazines Did You Know Gaming had translated for this video, Ken Sugimori revealed many secrets about Gen 5's Pokemon, like that Stunfisk was originally a blue goosefish and was created as the world's flattest Pokemon. But later in development, Stunfisk was revised into a brown flounder and had its water and electric typing changed to ground and electric. Sugimori's team also came up with an ant Pokemon who would have been the world's smallest Pokemon, but it didn't make the final cut. The Petalil family originally had 3 stages, but one stage got cut due to Unova having too many grass-type Pokemon. Early in development, there was also a family of snail Pokemon who were meant to serve as prey and get eaten by the Carablast family, but they were replaced with the Shelmet family, who initially didn't have a connection with Carablast. And Haxorus was actually made during Platinum's development, making it the very first Unova Pokemon. It was designed even before Axew and Fracture, who were made by reverse engineering Haxorus's design. The same way, Bulbasaur, Charmander, and Squirtle were reverse engineered from Venusaur, Charizard, and Blastoise during Gen 1's development. Another secret is that lots of fans probably don't realize Serperior actually has hands. It just keeps them folded behind its back so it looks regal. Early in development, Pokemon designer Yusuke Omura was visiting an aquarium, and there just happened to be an otter exhibit right next to a live sea lion show, which inspired him to make Oshawott, an otter, evolve into Samurott, a sea lion. And one other time, Omura was fishing and accidentally hooked a giant, disgusting eel on his fishing rod, inspiring him to make the Electric family. According to Sugimori, Volibile uses dead Pokemon's bones as a nest and grows up inside of them. Mandibuzz wears a jawbone as a skirt, and their bones fit together to make an upside-down skull. In late 2019, Pokemon designer James Turner deleted 96 tweets he'd shared over the past few years, which had lots of behind-the-scenes info. Presumably, it was Game Freak who had asked him to delete the tweets, but fortunately, Did You Know Gaming's own Dr. Lava archived them all before they were deleted. According to the tweets, the game's planners, like Junichi Masuda, would provide a design brief covering the required elemental type of each new Pokemon, the number of evolutionary stages, and the kind of environment they'd be found in, like a cave or beach setting. Once the designer made their Pokemon, they presented it to the art director, Ken Sugimori, to approve or suggest revisions. About 2/3 of the Pokemon were killed off at this stage, with only 156 of the approximately 500 Pokemon getting approved. Once a designer made a Pokemon that was approved, they'd make a reference sheet showing the Pokemon from every angle. After that, what became of the Pokemon was mostly out of their control. Game Freak's battle team chose the movesets and stats, and although the designer could make suggestions, the Pokemon Company's lore expert usually chose the Pokemon's name, lore, and Pokédex entries. As far as design inspirations, James made Vanillux as a nod to the Stay Puft Marshmallow Man from Ghostbusters, as both Gen 5 and Ghostbusters are set in New York City. He also tweeted out these images of Snowless Vanillite and Vanillux, saying their ice creams a sheet of snow hiding their true form, which are just bodies of ice. James also made a canon mode for Golurk, which has never appeared in the mainline Pokemon games, at least not yet, but it was featured in the 2011 Wii game Poké Park 2. Canon mode has also been seen more recently in episode 14 of the Pokemon Journeys anime, where it's described as Golurk's ultimate attack. According to James, unlike more recent gens, the designers didn't get to choose the shiny colors of the Pokemon they made for Gen 5, and he wishes he could change Golurk's shiny to, quote, make him look a bit cooler. The first 4 generations of Pokemon games were all localized into English almost entirely by one man, Nintendo of America freelancer Nob Ogasawara. Then, the other versions, like the French, German, and Spanish, were all based on Nob's work. In other words, Nob was responsible for lots of small details experienced by fans outside of Japan. He changed a hiker on Route 10 from being high on magic mushrooms to having a bad case of hay fever, and added lots of cultural references like gym leader Fantina saying, "Never give up, never surrender," an iconic phrase from sci-fi comedy Galaxy Quest. Did You Know Gaming spoke with Nob, as well as one of Gen 5's translators, David Numrich, who told us that after Diamond and Pearl, the Pokemon Company completely changed the localization process, and due to contract complications, Nob ended up getting cut from the deal when the restructuring was complete. The company made a new system that could handle everything in-house for a quicker turnaround, and so every version was translated from Japanese directly into every other language, instead of being based on the English version. This meant that the localization of Gen
YouTube Music Premium is dedicated to you. During your dinner party with friends and family, on long...
You suck.
Hey, look, I just got an event view. This is super duper rare, like only 20 of them exist. Only 20? Watch this. This.
Alright, I'm looking for a Pikachu to use in my team. Right.
What is going on, guys? This is Dobbs here,
Something
bringing you
to
another
kick that.
Pokemon video. And in this video, we're going to go over the top 10 rarest event Pokemon that I could find. So yeah, with that said, without further ado, let's get started. Alright, starting off this list, we have a Pokemon that was given away at a football game. And when I say football, I mean soccer, because in America, it's called soccer for some reason. So, with that said, for number 10, I chose the 2014 Pokemon Day Shiny Gengar. Now, to promote their upcoming Pokemon games, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, Nintendo sponsored a football game hosted at the Jalen Bazaar Stadium. And the two teams that were playing were the Alberix, Nagata, and the Home United. And I watched no football, so I have no idea what these teams are, but I guess it was a big deal. But anyways, to make this event more special and unique, they gave away a limited 3,000 shiny Gengars with the Gengar rights, so that the Mega Form could be the white, ghostly, shiny Gengar you see. And unintentionally, by doing this, they created one of the rarest event Pokemon ever. And coincidentally, this Gengar might be the rarest shiny event Pokemon ever, because it's the only shiny Pokemon on this list. And I say might, because I'm not sure if the event Pokemon above this Gengar have shiny odds, so it's really up in the air. But yeah, at just 3,000 code distributions, this Gengar is the 10th rarest event Pokemon of all time. But trust me, this list gets a lot crazier the higher we go. That's why this is only number 10. Number 9. Now this next one happens right after the Gengar event in Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire, so I guess the promotion with Gengar worked. So for number 9, we have the 2015 Facebook Kangaskhan and Charizard. Now first, let's start with the Kangaskhan, because not only was the distribution before the Charizard one, it was also a lot easier to obtain. To put it simply, the first 1,000 people who commented on the Facebook pages of Nintendo of Taiwan and Hong Kong received a Mega Kangaskhan. And since there were 2 Facebook pages to do this on, that means there were a total of 2,000 Kangaskhan given away. That's basically it. One of the rarest event Pokemon of all time, just boiled down to who could comment the fastest. Now, a few months later with Charizard, Nintendo decided to do this again, but with a little more complexity to it. Instead of just seeing who could comment the fastest on a Facebook post, they made a little quiz to see who could guess the silhouette the fastest. And these two silhouettes were Dedenne and Fletchling. And basically, who guessed the right Pokemon the fastest got a Mega Charizard. This was all to celebrate the first episode of Pokemon X and Y that aired in Hong Kong and Taiwan. And yeah, one of the rarest Pokemon of all time boiled down to see who could comment the fastest on a Facebook page. But hey, only 2,000 of each of these Pokemon exist, and I have to stay true to that. I can't just not put them in here because they're kind of lame. But with that said, the higher we go in this list, the more interesting it becomes. So stay tuned.
No, thank you.
Now, this next Pokemon was given away for a premiere for a Pokemon movie. Man, it was probably a very exclusive premiere because this Pokemon is number 8 for this list. So, with that said, for number 8, we have the 2014 Wonderland Darkrai.
Ah!
Now, compared to other event Pokemon
Right, look for
on this
Bozo
list,
Squirtle.
Darkrai was extremely easy to obtain. You just had to be very quick with what you had to do. And to put it simply, all you had to do was attend the 2014 Comic Exposition in Taiwan and pre-order a movie ticket for the 17th Pokemon movie. And if you were lucky enough
There we
to be one
go.
of 1,000 attendees to receive the code on the back of their movie ticket, well, you just landed yourself one of the rarest event Pokemon of all time. And fun fact, the Enigma Berry this event Darkrai is holding was originally introduced in Gen 3 as a placeholder for data for Pokemon Battle E-cards, and other than that, it really served no purpose. The only way you could obtain it was with a Game Shark. But in Generation 4, it became a normal berry, although the only time you saw it was in Generation 5 with a random NPC in the battle subway. So even then, it retained its extreme rarity. So, on top of getting a super rare event Pokemon, you also got a super rare berry, which seems like a great deal for buying a movie ticket in Taiwan.
I want all 3 starters.
Alright, finally we have an event Pokemon that wasn't in Pokemon X and Y or Pokemon Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I'm not sure why Generation 6 was such a prominent time for a rare event Pokemon. So, with that said, for number 7, we have the Nintendo Power Celebi. Now, man, who remembers the Nintendo Power magazine? That lasted for like 20 years back in the 1990s to the 2010s. I was just at PAX East a few weeks ago, and they were selling Nintendo Power magazines as, like, relics. It was a very interesting throwback, suffice it to say. But anyways, getting back to the event Celebi, all you had to do was submit an application to Nintendo Power and send it through the mail. Back when the internet and cell phones and email wasn't really a big thing. And basically, if you were lucky enough to get your application accepted by Nintendo Power, you got yourself a Celebi through the mail. And only 251 people were accepted, so this makes the Celebi extremely rare. And for those who didn't send in their Pokemon Gold and Silver cartridge, they got a t-shirt back instead. So maybe not all 251 Celebis were given away, which makes this event Celebi even more rare. But yeah, after this, we are entering a realm where there's only less than 100 event Pokemon for each one of them, except for like one. So prepare yourself, because these next event Pokemon
Prepare
are
yourself.
incredibly rare. Now this next Pokemon is very unique and is the only one that was distributed on a TV show. So with that said, for number 6, we have the Pokemon Sunday show, Wobbuffet. Now if you're a super hardcore Pokemon fan, you're probably familiar with the Pokemon Sunday show that aired in Japan, because they are famously known for revealing new stuff about Pokemon. And for the Pokemon Sunday show, they were mainly focused on the later Generation 4 and Generation 5 games, because for each game and generation that comes out, they tend to change their TV show name. Like after Pokemon Sunday show, they became the Pokemon Smash, and then after that, they became the Pokemon Get Star TV, and so on. But anyways, during the Pokemon Sunday show era, they were giving away a Wobbuffet that was based on the Wobbuffet they live action in the Sunday show. And the way the players could enter was by going to a Pokemon festival that was local to the area, and then enter at their booth. Basically, after that, they revealed the winners on the Pokemon Sunday show on that Sunday, and only 100 people won, making this very special Wobbuffet a very rare event Pokemon. And that's basically all there is to it. It was a very quick and easy rare event Pokemon. It's crazy how some of these rare event Pokemon come to be. I feel like the people who are managing these event Pokemon just have no idea that they're creating history. But yeah, for those reasons, that is why this Wobbuffet is number 6 on this list.
Don't miss.
Now these two
Do
event
not
Pokemon
miss.
were a couple years after the Nintendo Power Celebi, and also resided in a magazine as well.
I've
So,
not.
number 5, we had the Pokemon Stamp Contest, Pichu, and Absol. Now imagine this, back in the day, kids used to collect stamps for fun. That was one of our entertainments back in the day, and believe it or not, it was pretty fun. Just like collecting Pokemon cards, but they're stamps. And in the Japanese magazine magazine, Shogokukan did just that with their contest. They had their fans collect stamps to win prizes. And in the May issue of 2003, they hosted a Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire stamp contest where the ultimate prize was a Wish Absol. And all you needed to do to enter the contest was collect all the stamps for the issue and then mail it in. And for this event Absol, only 300 of them were given away, making it an extremely rare event Pokemon. But not as rare as the Nintendo Power Celebi, because there was 251 of those distributed. And that's where the Pokemon Stamp Contest Pichu comes in. You see, in the May issue of the same year, Shogokukan hosted a Pokemon Ruby and Sapphire Stamp Contest with the gym leaders. And with the same method of entering, only 50 players won the Pokemon Stamp Pichu, making this a super duper rare event Pokemon, like only 50 out of the entire world. That's very few compared to a lot. And if you were wondering, the signature move of this Pichu was Teeter Dance. I guess that was like the theme of this magazine. I don't know. But it's still a very insanely rare event Pokemon. But keep in mind, this is only number 5. Number 4. Now this next one's going to be our first and only online distribution for an event Pokemon on this list. But trust me, even though these 3 Pokemon were given out online, they are still extremely rare. So, with that said, for number 4, we have the GTS Game Freak Psyducks. Now, back in Diamond and Pearl, the Game Freak employees wanted to promote the newly made global trading system in some way. And after some consideration, they decided to give away a Psyduck with their original trainer ID as their names for each of them, so they can encourage players to use the global trading system as a new norm for trading Pokemon. And these 3 Game Freak employees were Tadashi Masuda, Ken Sugimori, and Shigeki Morimoto. And on August 19th, they put out 30 Psyducks for each of their names for an American Ponyta. And out of the hundreds of thousands of players who put up their American Ponyta for the Game Freak Psyduck, only 30 of them for each name completed the trade, making these Psyducks among the rarest Pokemon of all time. And fun fact, Junichi Masuda has said that Psyduck is his favorite Pokemon, so it makes sense why they traded out Psyducks for the Game Freak employees. But yeah, at 30 for each, this makes them one of the rarest event Pokemon of all time. And also, if you missed the annotations, there was also 30 Heracrosses per name given away as well, but instead of from the Game Freak staff, they were from the Nintendo of America staff, and they were traded for a Japanese Roselia. But yeah, these Heracrosses and Psyducks are extremely rare, and that is why they're number 4 on this list. Audible mentions. Okay, before we get to number 3, I gotta give a few audible mentions to ones that I wasn't fully sure about due to a language barrier or because there wasn't that much information on it. So with that said, here we go. We have the 1996 Korokoro Mew, the 1997 Korokoro Serving Pikachu and Flying Pikachu, the Celebi Sweepstakes Celebi, the 4th Next Generation World Hobby Fair Mew, the 1999 Nintendo Power Serving Pikachu, the 2000 Nintendo Power Mew, and finally the Shogokukan Annual Event Celebi. Again, these are event Pokemon I wasn't fully sure about, so I had to put them somewhere on this list. So yeah, with that said, without further ado, here's the top 3. Number 3. Alright, I know this is very unconventional for me to do, but number 3 and number 2 are tied in a sense. And you'll see what I mean by that here very soon. So, starting off first with number 3, we have the Character Fair Shaman. Now, to put this simply, at the 2009 Character Fair that was held in Seoul, Korea, there was 5 zones where players could visit to obtain an event Pokemon. And these 5 zones were the Game Zone, the Shaman Zone, the Stage, the Play Zone, and the Friendly Shop. And basically, the Friendly Shop was the Pokemon Mart. And to make a long story short, if you were at the Character Fair, you would walk to each of these zones and grab yourself an event Pokemon. And out of everyone who attended the event, only 10 players were given a Shaman at the Shaman Zone. And the only prerequisite to get the Shaman was to submit a thank you letter to the people who set up the Character Fair. And then boom, they got one of the rarest event Pokemon of all time at only 10 Shamans. Which, looking back at number 10 for the Shiny Gengar at 3,000 distributions, it's incredibly, insanely rare. Now, moving on to the Korokoro 20th Anniversary Mew, this Mew was simply given out to 10 players who won the ultimate prize for the 20th anniversary of Korokoro. And we all know what Korokoro is. It's a famously known magazine that gives out leaks for Pokemon for each generation. And yeah, at only 10 Mew distributed, that makes this Mew one of the rarest Pokemon of all time. The second rarest, to be exact. And the reason why I ranked Mew over Shaman is because it was distributed 12 years before the Shaman. So I feel like time really gives it the factor of being more rare. But yeah, there you go, the first ever number 3 and number 2 combination combo. And that is why I chose the Character Fair Shaman and the Korokoro 20th Anniversary Mew for number 3 and 2 for this list. Number 1. Now here we are, the rarest event Pokemon of all time. And if you've been around the channel long enough, you probably already know what this Pokemon is. So, with that said, for number 1, we have the University Magikarp. Now, way back in 1998, over 20 years ago, the Core magazine hosted a campaign known as the Tamamushi University Hyper Test. And this hyper test was marketed as a special competition exam, which I'm not really sure what that means. I'm not sure what the exam was all about. But if you somehow won this exam, you were flown to Osaka, Japan, and also got yourself a University Magikarp. And since there was only 20 winners for this Core magazine, that means there's only 20 University Magikarps that exist in the world, making this very weak fish that knows Dragon Rage one of the rarest event Pokemon of all time. Oh, it's you. We were raising your Pokemon. Sure. Something. Good thing I released it. That thing could have been dangerous to a society. Oh, man, keep calm, Julian. Keep calm. Oh, man. Are you okay? Man, that scared the crap out of me, man. Hey, kid. You want to join Team Rockets? You know what? Sure, let's do it. Wait, what? I said let's do it. Like, I've been having some evil tendencies lately, and I'm down. Let's freaking do this. Oh, okay. I've never had someone say yes before. What do I do? I'm not even in Team Rockets. I was just joking. I wanted to battle him. I didn't want to sign some kid to a Team Rocket to this evil doing. Is this kid a freak? Is he like a super powerful traitor that wants to destroy the world? What do I do? I'll have to get back to you. What is going on, guys? This is Dobbs here, bringing you another Pokemon video. And for this video, we're going to go over top 10 impossible things in Pokemon. And awesome enough, we have someone back on the channel that we haven't seen in 3 years.